what is up, you Rainbow Royalty? I'm Miss Explains, and welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be reacting to some trans memes. So let's just jump right ahead into this. I've never reacted to trans memes before, so I'm really excited. So let's just jump right in. Just witnessed a jerk trying to verbally shame a trans woman at Target. I say try, because just as he started coming for her, myself and the other customers immediately shut him down and turned on him. This huge, buff, tattooed guy towers over the jerk and says, "Apologize to her, now." The jerk replies, "To him, you mean? The human mountain." I love that phrase, the human mountain. Turns to the lady and asks, "Do you prefer male or female pronouns?" She replied, "Female." He turns back and says, "Apologize to the lady while you can still speak." The guy apologized and skittered away. The human mountain guy gave the lady a big hug and left with his girlfriend. Just when I think I hate people, that was awesome. That is so awesome. It's so nice to see or hear about like these stories where the transphobe is just completely shut down by everybody else. That's so nice, and that is how our world, I think, is like progressing and growing towards. Because I think that the idea of trans people and just accepting them is becoming so much more widespread, and more people are accepting them, and I think that's so sweet, and this is just proof of that. So that's awesome. There's no legitimate reason to ban transgender troops, period. I agree. Except when you're in a life or death for situation. What? Why is it the transphobes always have the worst grammar? Except when you are in a life or death for situation and you aren't comfortable trusting the person next to you. But that doesn't matter, right? Brian, the enemy has surrounded us, and we have nowhere to run. I don't think we are going to get out of this. I have a plan that might save us, but I don't know if I can trust you. Hurry, show me. Oh no. It's the only way, Brian. The only way. Yeah, it makes no sense. That argument makes no sense. If you are in the military and you are transgender, you deserve to be in there just as much as any cisgender person does. You are literally putting your life on the line to protect the country that you're in. Why does it matter their gender? It doesn't. They're literally putting their life on the line for everybody else. You should be happy about that. Especially considering that a lot of transgender people aren't even accepted in the country that they're in, whatever country it may be, and yet they still want to put their life on the line to protect the people. That is so noble. Dad called last night to check in on how I was feeling after my breast reduction and say, "I bet that's a huge weight off your chest." Dad jokes are 1,000 times better from trans-affirming dads. That's so sweet. I love that. Love dad jokes. Women. Trans people have never attacked anyone in a restroom before. It's really not something we're worried about. Republicans. It doesn't matter. We need to keep women safe from sexual assault at all costs. Women. We need to do something about the disturbing number of rapes on college campuses. Republicans. Have you tried not dressing like a... Makes no sense how they believe that so much. They believe in that so much. But when it comes to things like that, they're just like, well, it's kind of your fault. I don't think so. This video is so misleading, possibly deliberately so. There are people born with Y chromosomes who are female, and it is not that rare. To say so is not leftist. You just need an education in genetics. Further, there are people born intersex, and it's genetic. You look like a nice guy, Philip, but she is a pediatrician. I am the president of the International Genetics Federation. Bro, Philip is the president of the International Genetics Federation. He is affirming trans people, and yet you still disagree with him? I think he's a lot more qualified than you are. Just saying. Yes. The occasional, "Why did you put gender fluidity in your book? Your agenda is ruining the story" comment. Perhaps what is ruining the story for that reader is their insistence on believing that a non-cishet character's right to exist in a story is an agenda. And of course, if the reader is wondering why I put gender fluidity in a Norse mythology story, that reader doesn't know much about Norse mythology. Yeah, exactly. It's like this thing where the main character of a story has to be this straight, white person, and if they're not, it's an agenda. Just know, there are more people in this world that are not just white. Having a cis white person as your main character of a story is not the only person. It is not an agenda to do somebody else because somebody else shows the diversity of the world. My son's 13-year-old non-binary classmate had a shirt on yesterday that said, "Error 404, gender not found," and I just about died. Their mom had made it for him. That mom is a hero. Oh, that's so cute. I love the head. Trans misogyny is the fact that I'd be arrested for showing female breasts in public, but then put into a men's prison because I'm not a woman. Trans women are only considered women when it justifies more harm. We are never considered women when it would protect us from harm. That's so horrible. Just think about that. You're selectively choosing their gender and what it means for, like, the law based on any way that can belittle that person more. So they choose women when they don't have a shirt on, but they choose man when they put them in prison. Like, that's so wrong. I went to go pick up my hormones from the chemist today, and the guy was quite sweet and very well-intentioned, but clearly way out of his element. When I was leaving, I did the standard, "Thanks, have a nice day," and he responded with, "You too, enjoy your," very, very quietly, obviously realizing what he was saying was highly insane, "gender." And to be honest, I haven't stopped thinking about being a gender enjoyer since. That's funny. I love that. Just like, "Thanks, enjoy your gender." I love that. That's so cute. Apparently, a few trans people in the 1940s claimed their transition was caused by some mysterious disorder, like, "Yeah, I suddenly turned into a woman. Must be a tumor or something." Oh well, guess it's what nature intended. No sense in fighting it. And cis people just bought it. That's funny. It's like, oh, yeah, suddenly, like, I don't know, just overnight, I don't know, just became a woman. The trans agenda is about giving pockets to women's clothes. Yes, please. Thank you. I need pockets. I need pockets. You know how many times I've slipped my hands into my pants? Okay, that sounds so wrong. My goodness, that I could have phrased that so much better. Slipped my hands into the little pocket thing. They put the design of the pocket on there. They fool you into thinking you have pockets, and then you put your hand there, and there's no pockets. Why? I hate that. You can tell I'm very passionate about this. I hate it so much. Give me my pockets. I deserve my pockets. Saying male to female instead of just trans women is like referring to fully grown people as baby to adult. Ah, so you used to be a baby? Are you telling me you were born a baby, but then hormones turned you into an adult? Nice try, giant baby. I've never heard of this analogy before, and that's so funny. That's exactly what people are doing when they're talking to trans people like that. Just like, "Oh, you used to be this? Nice try, hormones turned you into that? Well, no, you're a giant baby." We're all giant babies, apparently, according to transphobes. I'm a cis guy, and I wear a pin with my pronouns on it. I've had people look at it, look me in the eyes, and call me ma'am, and say she instead. Like, a pronoun pin doesn't automatically prove that someone is trans. But jeez, the transphobia is showing. Jeez, that's so horrible. Imagine, and like a cis person too, wearing a pronoun pin. It says their pronouns, and then people deliberately say the complete opposite pronoun. That just shows how horrible some people can be, and I don't even know what their reasoning is. Why do you deliberately do that? What did that person do to you? Absolutely nothing. You're just doing that because you want to? Because you want to be a horrible person? I mean, if you want to be a horrible person, then I guess be a horrible person, but that's personally not how I want to live my life. I told my parents I wanted to change my name. They got mad, made fun of me, and told me they'd never call me by that. And I'm cis. Can't imagine how much worse it is for trans people. Changing your name isn't just for trans people. Trans people can or cannot change their names if they want to, and cis people can also change their names. That must be so horrible to have to deal with, even if you're cis having to change your name. Like, just overall, people get upset about changing your name, but hey, if you want to change your name, change your name. That's what you want to do, and that's cool. Trans people. Hormones have made me finally feel good about and at home in my body for the first time ever in my life. Cis people. Aren't you worried that might be irreversible? Bro, that's kind of the point. Early in my transition, the law was you needed transsexual surgery to change the gender marker on your ID cards. There was no legal definition for transsexual surgery, and since I'm a transsexual who had a surgery to remove their tonsils, that is how I qualified to change them. I had a friend who was a trans woman and a lawyer who helped me figure this out. That's kind of funny. You just, yep, had transsexual surgery because I got my tonsils removed. But yeah, this is kind of a little thing just to say, if you're transgender, you don't have to get surgery. You don't have to if you don't want to. And you are completely still valid if you don't get surgery as a trans person. Trans girls. We're lesbians. TERFs. No, you're just straight men preying on gay women. Trans girls start dating each other. TERFs. I must be a victim in this situation somehow. Yeah, literally, I don't even know. Like, come on. You're advocating for women's rights. Trans women are women. Advocate for their rights too. It's not that hard. HRT does change your appearance, but so does getting a full body tattooing. And you can get a full body tattoo at 18 without proving to a doctor that you won't regret it. So like, maybe HRT being so hard to access is actually about transphobia. Foaming out the mouth while reblogging. Cis women can get a boob job at 18 without 2 notes from a therapist. That's very interesting to compare, like, the access to bodily altering, physical altering things and modifications that you can do when you're 18, but when it comes to being trans, it's completely different. Especially the last one, of the fact that an 18-year-old girl can get, like, a boob job, and they don't need different notes from therapists or anything. But a trans person can't do that. It's very interesting to compare that. Silly liberal. If you wear a dress, you're a girl. I'm a trans girl. Just because you wear a dress doesn't mean you're a girl. They don't want to believe it. It's selective choices. They're just selecting what they want to believe. Harry Potter video game will allow for transgender characters. J.K. Rowling. Game developers. I love that. I want to know what game that is though, because I love that. Me, I'm starting HRT. Every trans person I've told, congrats. Best decision I've ever made. You won't regret it. Every cis person I've told, here's a long list of reasons why I think that is a terrible idea. It's very interesting. You have the cis people telling you why you shouldn't do it, and yet they don't have the experience that the trans people do when it comes to actually taking HRT. Anyway, that is all the trans memes for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. They were funny. They were great. I love them. So if you have any video suggestions, please leave them in the comment section down below. And I will see you guys in the next one.